2025 was a stacked year for gaming. So many incredible games came out this year, and it would be a waste if I didn't talk about the ones I played. I'll be going through every game I played for the first time this year, whether it released this year or not, and just for fun, I'll put them all into a tier list. I will not be counting games I actively played before 2025, so you won't see Splatoon or Smash Bros or any games like that on this list. There is one exception to that rule, but we'll get to that later. This list will contain spoilers for most, if not all, of the games that I talk about. That is your warning. I'm bad at transitions, so I'll let editor me handle that part. Okay, I know this technically isn't a game, but I bought it and played it, so I'm gonna talk about it. This might genuinely be the worst DLC for any video game ever. It's definitely the worst one I've played. It is the most nothing burger DLC they could have possibly done for this game. Let's go over what they added. They added a new area that doesn't have any collectibles or missions, some new cosmetics, and a roguelike mode that ends after 10 levels. I thought side order only having 30 levels was bad. 10? In a roguelike? That's like 20 minutes. And the gameplay isn't even fun. You just run around and punch green. This would be a mediocre DLC at best if it was free. But notice how I said if, because this shit costs $20. I made the mistake of buying it while I was riding the hype from the base game, and oh how I immediately regretted it. This is the only game on this list that I would actively tell you not to buy. Trash. Oh boy, a new Dragon Ball game came out this year. Let's see what it is. Oh no. Look, when it comes to MOBAs, I try to enjoy them. I really do. But it just never works. I can't even count on my hands the number of times I've tried to get into Pokemon Unite because my friends play it. And it's the same thing every time. So when my friends said, "Hey Joe, come play this Dragon Ball game with us," I really tried. I played my favorite character and my not favorite character and Goku because for some reason you start this game with only 3 fucking characters, and it was the same thing every time. Just League with a Dragon Ball coat of paint slapped over it. Because that's what all MOBAs are. This is a hard one to rank because it's the only mobile game on the list, but I'm not gonna pretend that I haven't opened this app almost every day since I got it, because I have a gambling addiction. I've barely even touched the actual card game part of this app because I suck at it, and it doesn't satisfy my gambling addiction. I just want to see the silly Pokemon, look at cool cards, and overdose on serotonin whenever I pull something rare, because I have a gambling addiction. It's a solid mobile game. It's better than, like, Fortnite, I guess. Also, I have a gambling addiction. This game got revealed and everyone had the exact same reaction. What? Someone must have come up with this idea during their turn in the blunt rotation, cause it's robots in wheelchairs playing basketball. What? And the strangest part about this game is that it's actually kind of fun. The controls are smooth, the game is simple but not too simple, and it's basketball. Who doesn't like basketball? But the main issue this game has is that you play it once and you have fun, and then you go back to it a second time and all the charm is just gone. Kinda like every Roblox game. You play it once and go, oh, this is pretty cool, and then never touch it again. Nintendo has been trying out new franchises ever since the Wii U, and this is much closer to this console's version of ARMS rather than Splatoon. It's a nice game and all, but it's definitely for a demographic of people that I am not a part of. But I'll never get over the fact that you move your character by doing this.
You don't care about sound, right?
No, it's fine. This is a very important part of the video. I don't really have much to say about Peak. You just climb a mountain with a cute art style. The main selling point of the game is that you get to see funny things happen to your friends' silly-looking characters. And yeah, that's good enough for me. I played this game a few times with friends and absolutely enjoyed it. It's definitely a gimmicky game, but whereas Drag X Drive is like a Roblox game, Peak is like Among Us. It's a game that you just don't take seriously.
No, yeah, you need to be a little higher. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. Yo! Let's go!
Like, I'll never play this game on a regular basis, but I'll also never delete it, you know? It's just one of those games that you play to hang out with your friends every once in a while, and it does a great job at being that kind of game. It's cute, it's silly, it's a more than reasonable amount of content for its price. It's a good game. Okay, here we go. Hollow Knight, on its surface, is a very good game. It has a good art style, fair difficulty, and a respectable price. And for a game that was made by 3 dudes and their collective thoughts and prayers, it is amazing. So why is it so low on the list? There is one thing about this game that prevents me from really enjoying it. I value movement in video games more than almost anything else. I love a unique, in-depth moveset that I can spend time learning, and even a simple movement system, if done effectively, can feel amazing. Movement in Hollow Knight just feels bad. Everything in this game is egregiously slow, especially early on when your movement options are walk, jump. And this slow, stale movement prevents me from fully appreciating this game. I've seen footage of Silksong, and it seems like they fixed this problem, but I haven't played Silksong because I haven't exactly beaten Hollow Knight. Hey, look, calm down, chill, be cool, okay? Look, I want to enjoy this game's story. I want to enjoy the atmosphere. I want to feel what everyone seems to have felt when they played this game. But I can't do that when I'm constantly swimming through fucking molasses. Even once you get the dash, which is like 4 hours into the game, you can only use it forward, and it's stiff as hell. It doesn't really improve your movement at all. It only serves to lock off certain areas until you have dash, which, yeah, I get that you need to do that, game progression and whatever, but holy shit, whenever I boot up this game and try to make progress, I get bored within 10 minutes because I have to spend half my time slowly crawling to a warp point so that I can get marginally closer to where I need to go. This game was hyped up like crazy by both the fanbase and my own friends who love this game, and I unfortunately have to say that it didn't live up to that hype. It wasn't really even close. I like Hollow Knight. It's a good game, but I can't really say it's much more than that. This is actually the first game that I played this year. I even made a video on it.
This is where I watch my parents die, Parappa.
Please die. Yeah, that's Shadow.
And if you watched that video, you would know that I don't really play Sonic games that often. But I just complained about movement in games, so I feel like I should start by saying that movement in this game is weird. It's not bad. I'd actually say that I like the movement system, but it's definitely not easy to pick up. A big reason for that is because a lot of the time you're moving so fast that if you're not used to it, you'll struggle to control yourself. Yeah, I know, you move fast in a Sonic game, who would have thought? But once you figure out how to move in this game, it feels amazing. Moving fast and effectively is so satisfying because the levels are designed in a way where you can do the whole thing in one fell swoop. It's like watching one of those Rube Goldberg videos that are made to tickle your brain and bait engagement. But you're the one doing that. You feel a sense of pride after getting through a whole level without stopping once. Unfortunately, the boss fights in this game are kinda underwhelming. But that's really the only thing in this game that I didn't like. And come on, it's Shadow. He's cool. I haven't gotten around to playing Sonic Generations even though this game comes with both, so I'm only ranking Shadow, but hey, maybe in 2026. Something I don't talk about much on this channel is how much I love rhythm games. It's just difficult to make content on them. This game came highly recommended from a friend I met in college, and to be honest, I never really had any intention of actually playing it. And then they added a Friday Night Funkin' DLC pack. Something that I think adds a lot to a rhythm game is a good art style. It's a big reason why I love Funkin' so much. And this game's art style is so charming. And the enemies have so much personality, even though all they do is walk towards you. Like, look at how mischievous this little bastard is. And the idea that each enemy has specific movement patterns you need to understand is so unique compared to most other rhythm games. I haven't completed this game yet, and I definitely haven't played it enough to be able to accurately read charts. But I definitely plan to play it more, and I can absolutely see this game rising up in the ranks as I put more and more time into it. But for now, middle of B tier seems fair. This is a game I always knew about, but never thought I'd actually play. It and its predecessor both seemed like wannabe melees that I would never choose to spend money on when Multiverses was right there. When Smash Bros is right there. Okay, fine, I'll give it a try. Also, shout out Curb for gifting me a copy of this game. Very cool, love you. I went into this game with low expectations, despite my friends hyping it up. It just kinda looked like another wannabe Smash clone, and don't get me wrong, it is. It has that weird control scheme that all Smash clones have that's really floaty but also feels way too stiff for some reason. But this game does what most Smash clones forget to do. It tries to be unique. The slime mechanic in this game is actually pretty interesting. You can use it to extend or break out of combos, you can power up your special moves, and you even gain access to a final smash type attack when your meter is full. And it's things like this that separate a platform fighter from just being a Smash clone. It's so much better when a game tries to have its own identity instead of just leeching off of another successful game or franchise. But I do have one problem with this game. Even though I just talked about this game having its own identity, it's clear that Nick All-Star Brawl 2 just wants so badly to be Melee. And it's weird because you'd think a game with SpongeBob, Garfield, and Jimmy Neutron would be more advertised towards kids. But it's almost like they exclusively want to steal players from Melee. Cause maybe it's just me, but this game felt way more difficult to pick up than Smash or Rivals or other platform fighters. And yeah, you can do crazy shit like this, but when you're just starting out, everything in the game feels so excruciatingly slow. And don't get me started on the hit stun. Every move in this game sends you to hit stun purgatory. I like this game because I like Melee, but when it comes down to it, if I have to choose between Captain Falcon and Grandma Gertie, I'm picking up the GameCube controller. This is the last DLC, I promise. The Mega Dimension DLC is strange, especially when you compare it to the other two Pokemon DLCs, and the fact that they announced it before the game came out. Like, at this point, you're just asking people to complain. The DLC comes with a whole new story, new Mega Evolutions, and the whole hyperspace side order looking thing. And while I do really like all of that, it doesn't really feel impactful as a DLC. Like, the other two Pokemon DLCs had a whole new area, characters, and story that revolved around those characters. The story of the Mega Dimension is kinda just, oh no, the world is falling apart. Go stop it. Also donuts. I can't help but look at this like it's a sort of side mode, like Ultra Warp Riding or Emerald Rush. At least this DLC has substance. Things to do. Other than punch green. In this game, you punch purple. I will say that I am a big fan of the designs of the Mega Evolutions in this DLC. My personal favorites are Meowstic and Tatsugiri. The DLC is also really grindy, which I know a lot of people dislike, but I was just having fun completing the Pokédex. I've definitely spent more time with this DLC than I'd like to admit, because despite all the negative things I've said about it, I still really like Pokemon. And this DLC was really fun for me, even if it was different from the last two. I don't know if I like it more than the Indigo Disc, but that doesn't matter because Crown Tundra solos anyway. This DLC is not for everyone, but it really is just more of Pokemon Legends ZA, which I'm okay with. It's definitely not exceptional, though. The game that every Nintendo fan waited 8 years for. And I have some mixed feelings about it. I'll start by saying that this game looks incredible. I don't normally care about graphics in games because I much prefer a game having a defined art style rather than trying to look as good or realistic as possible. But my god, this game is beautiful. It's rare that I genuinely get lost in a game's graphics or world building. I think the last time it happened was in Breath of the Wild. And the main gameplay is really fun. The puzzles can be a bit cryptic, but the scan feature acts sort of like a hint button for most of them. Also, Samus on a bike is just cool. But as cool as the bike is, it's handled really strangely. To start, you can't use it in the main labyrinth sections of the game, with few exceptions. And since these make up most of the game, it just leaves you wondering what the bike is really even for. And the answer to that would be the massive desert that you use to traverse between mission areas. It's not an open world. This game is actually very linear, which I don't really mind. Not everything has to be open world. But this desert is massive, and there's nothing in it. Its only purpose is to move between areas and collect green. Again. But since this is the only, with few exceptions, area to use the bike, and there's just nothing here, it begs the question of why both the bike and the desert even exist, and the sheer size of the desert makes it more annoying to traverse than anything, especially since there's no fast travel in this game. You have to drive through this desert so many times. Why? I think the actual gameplay makes up for the desert being kind of redundant, which is why I put this game above the last few, but it just confuses me why the bike and desert were such big selling points for this game when they're just so irrelevant to it. This is the first Metroid Prime game that I've played, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. Maybe if I did, I'd be able to complain that the other games were better, but I did really enjoy this game, even with the weird decisions they made, so I'll still put it in low A tier. Okay, I know this is kind of a weird thing to put on a list of games I've played this year, but I've definitely spent more time playing it than some other games on this list, so I'm gonna talk about it. It is refreshing to play a mod with a creative premise instead of, oh, it's Sonic, but spooky. Even though creepypastas are admittedly a guilty pleasure of mine, but I've always liked the 7 deadly sins idea, and each of these characters represents their respective sin very well. Greed is a bank, Sloth is a robot that's constantly shutting down, Lust is a stripper because of course she is, and Pride is an asshole. He's my favorite. This mod has over 100 songs between the main story, the minus post-game, and the retro and Kamix remixes. It also has a hell mode for all the sociopaths that want every other note to be a double. AKA me. I missed one, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, the charting is really fun. for the most part. And the songs are so good. The ones that stuck out the most to me were Extirpation, Ectospasm, and both of Izzy's songs because come on. I also really love the art in this mod. A lot of the time I end up disliking when mods redesign Boyfriend, but I'm a fan of this one. I played this mod enough to get every achievement in 3 days, so that should speak volumes to how high quality this mod is. If you like Funkin', give this mod a try. I definitely recommend it. So for some reason, Guilty Gear crashes whenever I try to record it, so shout out gameplay trailers, and shout out this random YouTube channel. God, I wish I played this game more this year. Guilty Gear was one of those games that I've wanted to get into for a while, but never really had the motivation to do it. That was until one of my friends brought up the idea that we learn it together, and that seemed fun, and the game was on sale, so I bought it. And you wanna know how many times me and that friend have played this game together? I'm hoping to play this game a lot more in 2026 because I'm still pretty bad at it, although I don't plan on transitioning, so improving will be an uphill battle for me. Fighting games are my favorite genre of games, so it's no surprise that I really enjoy this one. I want to look more into other characters because I've kinda just been playing one, but yeah, there's not much else for me to say about this game. It's a fighting game, it's fun, I'm gonna play it more. Also, I'd smash like half the roster. A-tier game. Yeah, remember that exception I mentioned earlier? I was debating on whether or not to include Deltarune because I've technically played the game before, but chapters 3 and 4 released this year, and I really liked them, so I'm gonna rank them as one slot, because it's one game. Yeah, after the chapter 2 ending that left us hanging for 4 years, we finally got to see what Dark World we'd be exploring this time, and oh my god. I think these chapters, much more than the other two, were filled to the brim with that trademark Toby Fox charm. I mean, look at this guy. What other game has this absolute peak of character design? Chapter 3 acted as the sort of calm before the storm, because you just kinda play Zelda for a bit, do some mini-games. I played this on Switch with one Joy-Con rotated 45 degrees and got a T rank. Get on my level. Fight a boss straight out of WarioWare. I cannot express how much I love this boss fight. And then... and holy shit, the emotional roller coaster that was Chapter 4. I'm not even gonna act like I didn't tear up a little when Ralsei did his I'm not even real speech. That was gut-wrenching. And of course, being a game made by Toby Fox, the soundtrack bangs. These were definitely my favorite chapters so far, and I'm really excited to see where the story goes from here. And thankfully, we won't have to wait another 4 years. Probably. This has to be the best Pokemon fan game I have ever played. Super Mario Mon is exactly what it sounds like. It's Pokemon, but with Mario characters. It has its own region, story, overworld mechanics. The part in World 5 that just turns the game into Mario and Luigi, it's amazing. The sprite work is phenomenal. Every area character capture just looks perfect. You can feel the soul that went into making this game. Every Mario character you can possibly think of gets their chance to shine. Waluigi, EGAD, even Sonic. Wait, what? All the music is replaced with Mario music, but in the Gen 3 sound font, which just hits you with the perfect feeling of nostalgia. Don't even get me started on Sticker Brush Symphony. I think my only real problem with this game is that the dex is kind of unbalanced. Like 90% of the captures are physical attackers. Intimidate is broken. This game takes everything I love about Gen 3 Pokemon and throws all my favorite characters from my favorite franchise into it. It's 10-year-old me's dream Pokemon game, and I think it is the perfect game to start off our S tier. Graphics are the least important part of a video game. Whoa, who said that? They sounded pretty smart. Contrary to popular belief, Pokemon Legends ZA is a great Pokemon game. The issue a lot of people have with it is that it is a Pokemon game. So if you don't like Pokemon games, you probably will not like this game. Crazy, I know. Now, coming from someone who enjoys Pokemon games, I really like this one. The new battle system feels incredible. In fact, I like it so much that I've actually been playing ranked battles for the first time since Sword and Shield. It also allows for more unconventional Pokemon to be viable. Or at least it did until we just started allowing legendaries. Fuck Xerneas, I want to use Glaceon. This game has also reawakened my passion for shiny hunting. I've already completed the Pokédex and I'm currently working on a shiny dex, which I've never done for any Pokemon game. And I know that the mega designs are controversial, but I really like them. Yeah, I get why you might not be a fan of Mega Excadrill, but look at Mega Phalanx though. How are you gonna call this a bad game when it gave us this? I feel like I'm still riding the hype of this game because I definitely don't think it's better than Legends Arceus. Maybe this game will go down in my rankings in the future, but for now, I'm gonna keep playing it, I'm gonna keep enjoying it, and I'm gonna put it in S tier. Remember when I said this game's DLC is one of the worst things I've ever played in my entire life? Well, I'm sure that left you wondering why I even bought it in the first place. This is the best Donkey Kong game. I haven't really even played that many, but I know this is the best one. This game was made by the same people that made Super Mario Odyssey, one of my all-time favorite games, and it shows. The game is filled to the brim with passion, from the areas to the movement system to the characters. I cannot believe K. Rool is back. I thought they were burying everything even remotely connected to Rare, and he just uppercuts the main villain into the fucking sun. I wasn't the biggest fan of Donkey Kong's redesign in Mario Kart World, but he looks great in this game. And the areas are so well designed. The Lagoon layer, the Canyon layer, the Racing layer, the Forbidden layer, and Luncheon Kingdom, and Ruined Kingdom, and Metro Kingdom. Oh, no wonder I like this game. And I mentioned before how important movement is to me, and God, this movement system feels good. Like, what other platformer has a skill tree? I love being able to use chunks to extend my jumps and doing whatever this is. And like Odyssey, this game has so much content. There's 777 bananas in this game, and even though that's not as much as Odyssey's 880 moons, it's more than enough. This is a well-deserved S tier, and I cannot wait to play the next banger that this team cooks up. Let me start this off by saying no, this game is not worth $80, but I don't know why you would spend $80 on it when you don't have to. Just stop being stupid. Anyway, Mario Kart World feels better to play than any Mario Kart, period. I am in love with all of the new mechanics in this game. Mid-air tricks, charge jumping, rail grinding, wall riding. The things you can do with all this is crazy. This shortcut was discovered the day the game came out. That's insane. I was never really that into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I didn't expect to enjoy this game as much as I do. I still play Mario Kart World regularly. It's definitely an upgrade from 8 Deluxe. There was some controversy with the whole 3-lap tracks getting removed from online worldwides, and yeah, that did suck, but there have been multiple changes since then, and worldwides are actually playable again. I know, let's get a clap. Good job, Nintendo. Oh, you did great, buddy. From my experience, it's about 50% intermissions and 50% 3-lap tracks, which I have no issue with, but I will say that it's 50% in the Splatoon sense, where it says 50-50, but you just end up getting the same one over and over again. Sometimes you get nothing but 3-lap tracks, and sometimes you get tree. But speaking of tracks, we have some of the best in the series. Whistle Stop Summit is probably my favorite. There's just so much tech on this track that utilizes the new mechanics, so you get so much reward for practicing these shortcuts. A lot of the retro tracks have also been vastly improved since the last time we saw them. Shy Guy Bazaar got the glow up of the century. I love this track now. And yeah, I don't spend a lot of time in the open world because it's a little underwhelming, but I don't really care. The main gameplay is by far the best in the series, and I can see myself spending the next 11 years with this game. Especially if they add new content like they did with Mario Kart 8. This was a surprise banger for me, and is well deserving of S tier. This is a game I've wanted to play for a very long time, despite honestly knowing very little about it. I knew of the game's existence, but I never really paid it any attention until Joker got into Smash. And while he is a really fun character, so is Wolf, and you're not gonna see me playing Star Fox anytime soon. No, what really made me want to play this game was the soundtrack. Smash put me onto this shit, and oh my god, this is genuinely one of the best video game soundtracks ever. I listened to it frequently before I even bought the game, and I was stunned at how many songs I added to my Persona playlist that I hadn't heard yet just from playing the game. It's just banger after banger after banger. This game just feels like a love letter to artists of all kinds. Every little detail in this game is filled to the brim with personality, each menu carefully crafted to perfectly suit a specific character. The text fonts perfectly drawn to convey a sense of urgency when needed. The character design, oh my lord! I really love every character in this game. I really love almost every character in this game. Makoto, Yusuke, Akechi? I love how much I hate him. And the gameplay is so good. I'm already a fan of RPGs, but adding combos to it, getting rewarded for choosing the right type of move outside of just extra damage, it makes the combat feel so much more fluid instead of just moving between each character's turn. I've had this game for about a month, and I've already logged 70 hours into it, which for how little free time I've had recently is a lot. Hey, Future Joe here. This is the first game on this list that has genuinely left an impact on me. Pokemon, Donkey Kong, and Mario Kart are all great games, but they're not the type of games that I would stick with for years and years. Okay, maybe Mario Kart, but multiplayer games are different. I'm talking Mario Odyssey, Minecraft, Breath of the Wild. Games that I have a reason to go back to over and over again after beating it, and the reason is that it's just so good. This is the perfect example of a video game not only living up to its hype, but far exceeding it. I cannot see myself ever getting tired of this game. You would basically need to make a game perfectly tailored to me specifically to get me to rank it higher than Persona 5. And my god, this game is amazing. I grew up with Telltale choose-your-own-adventure type games like Minecraft Story Mode, The Walking Dead, and Minecraft Story Mode again. But when Telltale went under, these kinds of games sort of just became an afterthought. There was no other company that wanted to produce games like these that had been such a huge part of my childhood. So when I saw Dispatch for the first time, it felt like the scene in Ratatouille, something I had long forgotten about and yet I still really love. Honestly, I like it more that it's not relying on some other franchise to hold it up. It lets the game have its own identity that's worth remembering. Like, yeah, I like Minecraft Story Mode, but I like Minecraft Story Mode because I like Minecraft. And I feel like a big reason why these games never really succeeded was because they were relying on bigger IPs that just overshadowed them and made them less memorable. But I don't like Dispatch because it's connected to something else I like. I like Dispatch because it's good. Because it knows what it wants to be, and it doesn't need a mega corporation shoving it in your face for you to know that it's good. All the characters in this game are likable, and I don't even need to make a joke like I did with Morgana, because I mean it. And I love how this game treats its characters. Like, yeah, of course you have your main characters like Robert, Blazer, and Visigal. beef. But none of these characters feel shafted or like they don't get enough screen time. They each have their moments that let them shine as characters, especially in the last few episodes. And each of their voice actors do such an incredible job. They got people from every corner of the internet voice acting in this game. From Jacksepticeye to motherfucking Aaron Paul voicing the main character. This is how you do celebrity casting. He's not there so they can say, look, it's the guy from Breaking Bad. He's there because he knows what the fuck he's doing. And have you seen this man doing interviews about this game? He is always so excited to talk about it. These are the people that should be working on movies and video games. I absolutely love the art style in this game. The 2.5D comic book style was such a perfect choice for a game about superheroes. I was always hyped the fuck up every Wednesday when new episodes would be released. This game had me wrapped around its finger for that month or so, and it never disappointed. Dispatch has a great art style, great characters, and an amazing story. It has quickly become one of my favorite indie games, and I am not in the slightest bit ashamed to say that it is the best game that I played in 2025. Well, that was a different kind of video from what I normally post. If you enjoyed this style of video, let me know and maybe press that button next to my profile picture. Here's the final tier list of all 20 games I played this year, and I'd love to hear what games you guys played in the comments. I want to work a lot harder on this channel in 2026, and I promise that you will get a good amount of content from me this year. Alright, that's all for today, so I don't know, go outside or something.